Hey everybody, it's Mike Shore with Padmission. Happy November. Hope you all had a great Halloween. I'm going to walk you through a couple of cool new features that we're rolling out in the app this next week. One is related to the management of units, and the other is about tracking financial incentives for landlords, and specifically signing bonuses and unit reservations. So cool stuff. Let's get started. So first and foremost, some of our customers have been tracking inspections in the app. And this is something that we're kind of excited about because we had always envisioned Padmission to be really about housing search and landlord engagement. But some of the customers are really leaning into how do we manage more of the housing program functions within the app. So inspections is one of those things. We're not building out a full-scale inspections module, but if you'd like to at least track inspections on units, you got to have units, right? So first thing, here, manage units on this profile under the floor plan. This is available only to housing locator users. So participants will not see that link, neither will property managers, and neither will case managers. This is for you, and this is for you to manage information. So if we click on it, you'll see that there's no units in this particular floor plan right now. So we're going to add a unit. The required field with the asterisk right here, of course, is the unit number. So let's say this is 125. Move-in date and move-out date are going to help you determine whether this is an active unit, a leased unit, or a vacated unit. So you can fill those in as necessary. But let's look at the inspection. So first of all, let's say that the inspection that you conducted of the unit, maybe in advance to speed up your housing search process. Some communities like to do pre-inspections of units. And we indicate that there's not a pass date yet. So let's say we went out and it didn't pass the inspection. So we've got a failed HQS inspection report. We leave this blank, we leave this toggled off, and we add that inspection. So when we come back here, we see 125, this unit is an active unit. And if we look back in here now, we see that there is a failed inspection report. We can click on that inspection report and go see the document that we've uploaded to store. And we can see that the pass date says failed. So if we go back out the next day or whenever and those deficiencies are corrected and it now passes the inspection, we can upload a second document, and this is the past inspection. And let's say this one passed today. It automatically toggles this over here so that it shows that it was passed. And when we update that unit and then go back and take a look, we see the original failed inspection still stays there. And then we've got our past inspection with the past date in the unit section here. We can always delete records and get rid of them. That wipes it from the server completely. And we can continue to track this unit information as long as we need to. But if we want to archive a unit and all of the inspection records and information associated with it, we just click on the archive unit button here. Okay. The second thing is related to unit reservations. So just as a primer here for this discussion, let's talk about the CARES Act and the alternative requirements and waivers that came out from HUD related to the ESG program specifically. This also applies to the Housing Choice Voucher program, where PHAs were provided with some extraordinary admin fees and flexibility to pay for expenses and things related to the pandemic. So I'm going to call out that over here on the Padmission blog, there is a blog post that we highlighted Home Inc. and the survey that it did of its landlords to really try to understand if we are seeking to incentivize landlords to take rapid rehousing in a big way right now, and we really need to do a massive housing surge to deploy all of this funding into the community. Financial incentives are a really good strategy for doing that. But in some communities, we don't know exactly how much, what is reasonable, what is going to be an amount that is necessary to pay to landlords to open their doors to really get a lot of clients housed quickly. So at Home Inc., we just asked. We did a survey of our landlords, and you can find that survey result here. We had 103 responses, and we asked them, which of the housing programs they took, and you can see that rapid rehousing is one of the lower accepted programs in our community. And we started to ask them questions about signing bonuses, and specifically if 1 month would be sufficient, and it wasn't quite halfway there. And then we said, well, if 1 month's not enough, what about 1.5 and 2? And so from this information, we're starting to formulate some policy recommendations for practice around what a financial incentive might look like. We also reminded landlords that they're eligible for risk mitigation funding for move-out charges and damages and vacancy loss. And then we started to ask them, in exchange for a signing bonus and this risk mitigation funding, would you consider reducing some of your screening criteria for our housing program participants? And, very pleasantly surprised that many of them would. So this survey, again, is available on the website, on the blog post. And if you're interested in potentially duplicating this and using this in your own operations, there's a template available in Microsoft Forms where you could take this and duplicate it and get started on your own. Okay, so let's go back to the app. And let's say that is something that you wanted to deploy as a unit reservation strategy. It is a configurable option, so you need to go over to your account options, scroll down here to where you see unit reservation settings, and this indicates if your community is reserving units for housing program participants, you can enable this feature. So let's just enable it. So now when we go back and we search properties, and let's go back to that same apartment community that we were dealing with, and we'll go back down here to our manage units. And let's go ahead and edit this unit 125. So now you can see that there's some additional information down here at the bottom of the unit screen related to a reservation. So we've got a reservation date. So let's say that we are reserving this unit on Monday, and that landlord has given us 2 weeks to find a participant in our housing program that can be approved at their property. And the unit is available as of Monday. And perhaps we paid a $250 holding deposit, and the signing bonus that we're contemplating paying this landlord if we can lease up a client is, let's say, 1 month's rent, and so it's $950. And perhaps this landlord has agreed to reduce their screening criteria. We're looking at Home Inc. at developing some alternative screening criteria that we can have kind of standardized to offer to landlords to accept in exchange for these updates or these financial incentives and these signing bonuses. So if they're going to take the home alternative screening criteria, if I could type, we could indicate that, or what other notes we wanted to list in here. We'll update this unit. And now you saw the tag changed so that we can see that this is an active reservation. So the cool thing is over here on this table side, we've got these unit reservations where we can see right here, Bella Solo, unit 125, a 1-bedroom unit, is reserved as of Monday for 2 weeks. We've got the deposit that is on hold there. We've got no move-in date yet and a signing bonus, and it's an active reservation. So we can see all of the active unit reservations by default. The archived units will be shut off as well as leased units. But let's say that we go ahead and we lease that unit up. So if we go back over to Bella Solo, we can click right onto that link there, and it takes us back to the property and the profile. And we'll go back to edit, and let's say we get this client moved in there on November 2nd, and we'll update that unit. So now it changed it to leased, and if we go back over to unit reservations, we see that it doesn't appear. But if I toggle this and say show me my leased units, Bella Solo now shows a leased unit as of 11/2. So we think this is going to be really helpful for, again, some of this housing surge concepts related to the ESG CV money. There's also, financial incentives being offered in communities with, again, housing choice voucher monies. In some cases, communities are using flexible funds for those financial incentives and holding deposits. So we think that this will help you track where you've got units that are reserved in the community. But we're also open to your ideas and thoughts. And so if we get this turned on and you play with it a little bit and you've got some information that you want to share with how this is working in your community, please reach out and give us that feedback. And we'll always want to update the app so that it works for our customers in the field. Thanks again for being a great customer. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you've got any questions or need any support. We'll talk soon.